Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today, with the title of the video, we're going to be going over some of the key trades so far in this NBA offseason. We're going to be going over some of the high note players. We're not going to go over every single trade so far, but we're going to go over some of the ones that were kind of head scratchers and who I kind of think won the trade. So let's go ahead and jump right into it. First one we're going to go over is the big one for Boston landing Kristaps Porzingis. For me, I think Boston won this three-way trade with the Grizzlies and Wizards. I think the Wizards were a close second. They got a lot of good key players to build around. But for me, just Porzingis adding a 7+ foot shooter and rebounder to that team that already has good shooters and depth, it just creates more havoc for all the teams that they have to face. I really think that Boston is going to be the team to beat now in the East, with the amount of shooters that they have and the depth. Moving on to the next big key trade that was kind of a head scratcher for me was a three-way trade with the Suns, Wizards, and the Pacers. Pacers really didn't do a whole lot in this. They were just a filler team. But for me, it was kind of odd why the Wizards would deal Bradley Beal. I didn't think that the Wizards were ever going to deal Bradley Beal unless they got something pretty big. To me, Chris Paul is kind of a big question mark on why they would want somebody that's older and nothing to really build around. I mean, he's only going to be in the league for maybe a few more seasons. Landry Shamet, I completely agree with that one. He's a solid bench player and can get you points when you need it. But other than that, for the Suns, I think it's pretty big that they got Bradley Beal. Obviously, it's an upgrade from Chris Paul. I mean, Chris Paul was kind of like that floor general where he was a main guy that would figure out what kind of plays they would need to run, but he was injury prone and he has a lot of health issues and staying healthy. For Bradley Beal coming over, that's great. He's a really big scorer. Now you've got three big scorers and a guy within DeAndre Ayton that doesn't get rebounds. So it's going to be kind of interesting to see how they're going to piece this together. I still think they have the same issues they did last year. They were very top heavy, and they still are. So when they face a team that's got a lot of depth, I don't think that they're going to be able to sustain wins that way because they're such a top heavy team. Now moving on to the next and last big final trade really that kind of showed me, okay, this is why the Wizards got Chris Paul, was to trade him to the Warriors. To me, when I saw this, I was kind of shocked on why the Warriors would even want Chris Paul. To me, it makes zero sense. I don't know what the Warriors are thinking here to bring Chris Paul off the bench, I'm assuming. They don't really need him. They got rid of Jordan Poole, who's 10 times younger and can score. I get it that they had to get rid of Jordan Poole, but for just Chris Paul, they really kind of sold the barn short there. And for me, the Wizards, I think, played this great. When I first saw that they got Chris Paul, it didn't make sense, but now it makes more sense because they just repackaged him and got more depth. Jordan Poole, again, younger guy, can go out and get you points, and you can build around something like that. For the Warriors, again, it's just a real big question mark to me on where or how they're going to use him. But, I mean, other than that, really all these other trades so far aren't really high-key notes for the season. Obviously, there might be some more coming up down the line, like a James Harden or Damian Lillard. I'll keep you guys updated and give you my opinions on where they land. But other than that, peace.